There are moments when everything seems clear, and yet, nothing moves. It is not night. It is not darkness. It is the soul's high noon. The sun is high. The tasks are before us. Life goes on. But the heart remains cold. There is not enough pain to wake us, nor enough desire to lift us. The ancients called this Acedia. We call it sloth. Evagrius Ponticus, the desert master, described its effect. The demon of Acedia is a demon of many faces. It makes the monk look at the sun, as if it moves too slowly, and at the exit, thinking of how far it is until the meal. Acedia does not scream. It does not scandalize. It puts to sleep. It makes prayer seem too long. The Mass repetitive, the good burdensome. And so, little by little, without anyone noticing. It is not sleep. It is not bodily tiredness. It is the soul's weariness before its own good. Acedia is not laziness of the body. It is not the refusal to work. It is not sleep that arrives early. It is something deeper, more silent, more dangerous. It is spiritual torpor, disinterest in one's own good, the lack of savor in the things of God. Evagrius Ponticus described it this way: the demon of the noonday. It does not attack at night, when everything is dark and confusing. It attacks at noon, when the light should be full. Acedia arrives when you see the good, but cannot desire it. When you know what you should do, but cannot find the strength to begin. When prayer is clear, but feels empty. It is not doubt. It is not revolt. It is indifference. It is the weight that has no shape, but that pressures everything. How does Acedia manifest? Not with a shout. Not with a dramatic escape. With dispersion. The soul cannot stay put. It wants to be anywhere, except where grace is calling it. John Cassian describes the Acedious monk. He looks out the window, counts the hours, imagines being somewhere else, wishes to visit a distant brother, invents reasons to leave his cell. Not because the world outside is better, but because here is unbearable. And what is here? Here is where God is. Here is the silence that invites prayer. Here is the clarity that demands vigilance. But the Acedious soul cannot bear the clarity. Because clarity reveals. It reveals the emptiness. It reveals the lack. It reveals that running away never solved anything. And so, the soul disperses. It seeks distractions. Small escapes. Anything. Just to avoid having to stay. Acedia is more than discouragement. It is the aversion to the good. It's not that the person doesn't know what is good. She knows. It's not that she doesn't believe. She believes. But, she cannot desire it. Saint Gregory the Great saw in Acedia the abandonment of one's own calling. The rupture with inner vigilance. The silent surrender. And what is lost? Not faith. Not necessarily. But joy. The joy that comes from silent obedience. The joy that is born from small faithfulness. The joy that springs up when one remains. Acedia steals hope. Not all at once. But little by little. Like evaporating water. Like a fading color. Like a light that goes out, without anyone noticing. The soul remains. But does not live. It breathes. But does not desire. It exists, but does not dwell. Evagrius Ponticus lived in the desert. And there, he saw the most subtle demon. Not the demon of lust, which attacks at night. Not the demon of anger, which explodes in the morning. But the demon of Acedia, which arrives at noonday. Why at noonday? Because it is when the light is full. When there is no excuse of darkness. When everything should be clear. But it is also the hottest hour. The longest hour. The hour where time seems not to pass. And the soul grows weary. Cassian describes the Acedious monk thus. He looks constantly out the window. He leaps from his cell frequently. He observes the sun with care. As if it moves too slowly. It is not laziness of the body. It is the soul that cannot bear to be with itself. Saint Gregory the Great saw the progression. First, torpor, then, discouragement, then, lack of devotion, then, dispersion of the mind. Finally, hatred of the place where one is. And the place where one is always where God calls. Not another place. Not another life. Not another time. Here. Now. In this silence. Psalm 90:1 warns us, "You will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday." And Acedia whispers, "Not here, not now, not this." And the soul gives up. What lies beneath Acedia? It is not anger. It is not fear. It is not guilt. It is a sorrow without tears. A fatigue that does not come from the body, but from existence. An emptying of the will that is not explained by physical exhaustion. The Acedious person does not hate. She does not love. She does not desire. She, merely. It is the desire to flee from oneself. But without knowing where to go. It is the inability to remain combined with the impossibility of leaving. The still water. Clear on the outside. But inside. Dead. The lit house. That no one wants to inhabit. The lit candle. That no longer warms anything. And the worst part. The worst part is that the person knows. She knows she should pray. She knows she should begin. She knows the way out is to get up and take one step. But she cannot. Not because she is unable. But because she does not want to. Or rather, she wants to want to. But she cannot. How does one leave Acedia? There is no quick cure. No sudden revelation. No dramatic moment of conversion. The departure from Acedia is as slow as the entry. And it requires something simple. But difficult. Small faithfulness. Continuous. Without feeling anything. To remain in the silence. Even when it seems empty. To return to prayer. Even when it brings no warmth. To take the minimum step, even when it seems useless. The Father said, "Do not wait to feel. Just do. Do not wait for willingness. Just obey." Because Acedia lies. It says that nothing is worthwhile. It says the effort is useless. It says, you are alone. But the truth? The truth is that God is exactly where you do not want to be. In the silence. In the waiting. In the fidelity, without immediate reward. And when the soul remains, even without feeling anything, something begins to change. Not suddenly. But little by little. Like returning light. Like water that starts flowing again. Like a heart that, slowly, begins to beat again. The noonday always returns. The light will always be high. The sun will always be full. And the soul will always be tempted to give up. Acedia does not disappear at once. It returns. It whispers. It weighs. But there is one thing it cannot do. It cannot stop you from taking a step. It cannot stop you from remaining. It cannot stop you from saying yes, even without joy. And that is where it loses. Not in the dramatic victory. Not in the lightning conversion. But in small fidelity. In the minimal gesture. In the repeated yes. Day after day, at noonday. When everything seems meaningless. Because Acedia tries to steal the soul, precisely when the light is closest. And the answer it is not to fight with force. It is simply to remain. You too, please remain with us on our channel by subscribing. If you wish to continue this vigil with us. The next night is already waiting.